Both possess the size, the strength, and the know-how to beat any player on any given day. Lindsay Davenport brings 11 years of tour experience to the table. Her game is one of power, of precision, and of poise. Kim Clijsters is a fierce competitor. She is as relentless on the court as she has been on the rankings, currently holding strong at number 2. Stay with us as the first semifinal of the day gets underway. It's Davenport against Clijsters at the Acura Classic. Coming up next. Semifinal action. Kim will forgive me, I just know it. This is a tournament that has been noteworthy as much for who is not here than for who is here. Of course, Clijsters and Davenport are here. Who's not? Well, the 3-time defending champion Venus Williams is not. She withdrew early because of an abdominal muscle strain. Her sister Serena Williams, the world's number 1, was going to play. Then at the last minute she had to withdraw because of a quadriceps strain. It got even worse. It developed a tear. She had to have surgery. Serena will now miss 6 to 8 weeks of tennis, and that of course would include her defense of her U.S. Open title in just a couple of weeks. So Serena Williams is out. Venus Williams is out. Let's talk about who's here. We mentioned Kim Clijsters and Lindsay Davenport. They, of course, will play in our first semifinal game here. Kuznetsova is the only unseeded player who got through, and in Ardan will play Kuznetsova tonight. She is the number 3 seed. The match that we're going to be looking at, Davenport and Clijsters. Davenport had to beat a very tough player, Shanda Rubin, to get here, and of course, Clijsters beating the serve and volleyer Lisa Raymond to get into the semifinals. Well, alongside once more for expert commentary, Tracy Austin. We've done this tournament together for 4 or 5 years. It is a great tournament, really a tournament that every player on the tour wants to be at.
Everybody enjoys this week so much, and I think, Barry, it's because the 2 owners of this event were former tour players, so they know how to spoil the current players. They get an Acura car whenever they need one. They get the golf carts to go around the Costa. They can go to the spa. They can play golf. Everybody loves this relaxing weekend. Of course, this year, also the prize money is up to $1 million. That helps as well.
It really does. Lindsay Davenport's been playing hurt. Not only this year, she's been playing hurt for the last couple of years. How's her condition coming into this week?
Well, you know, her foot is better. She has it padded, she has it taped, but she's really dealt with so many injuries. The hamstring earlier on in the year, the knee last year, the knee surgery, and then the foot flared up. She has a neuroma, which is an inflamed nerve in her left foot. That flared up at the French Open, and she had to have a cortisone shot right before Wimbledon in order to play. And on the grass, of course, it's a lot softer. When she came back and started playing on the hard courts and played team tennis right after Wimbledon, she said in team tennis she could barely walk. So she had to have another cortisone shot, and after that take off a whole week of practice. So I must say, coming into this event, you know, she doesn't have as much practice, as much time on the court as she would like to have had.
Yeah, kind of a question mark. Clijsters, on the other hand, has been absolutely a pillar of consistency. This is her 13th tournament this year. She's been at least to the semifinals in every one.
That's right, and she's won 5 titles, and she's number 2 in the world, and really closing in on number 1 in the world, and I think playing her best tennis of her life. She's so tough to beat because she defends so well. She chases all the balls down. She has the power. Her serve isn't the hardest on the tour, but it's very consistent. She puts it to all 4 corners of the box, so she's very tough to get through and to beat.
No secrets between these two either. This is going to be the 12th time that they have faced each other. Davenport actually leads the series 6-5, and here is what the 2 of them had to say about one another.
You know, her serve is probably her biggest weapons, and you know, she's the type of player that, you know, if you hit the ball in her reach, I mean, she can beat anybody. She hits the ball so clean, and she's probably the cleanest hitter, I think, out there.
I think she's got a very tricky serve, and where she actually hits all the spots and gets a high percentage of first serves in, and she's so fast. I mean, she gets balls back that no one really gets back, and then on the same time, she's also very aggressive and steps into the court, and I think her all-around game is extremely high.
So what has to happen in this match? How do you see it?
Well, I think that Lindsay Davenport has to set the tone quickly in the match and be very aggressive. Go for her shots, take risks. The longer the point goes on, Kim Clijsters has the advantage because she has the better mobility. She's playing better tennis right now, and Lindsay Davenport has to serve extremely well. Get a few cheap points on that big serve, her biggest weapon in the game.
And you talked about Clijsters, the possibility of her ascending to number 1 in just over a week's time. She says, though, I don't want to win it that way. I don't want to win it by default. I don't want to be the best player in the world because someone else is not here. I want to beat everybody. Behind them. Acura Classic semifinals, and Kim Clijsters to serve to Lindsay Davenport.
30 love.
Serves.
Barry, what I'm going to be looking for early on is how well Lindsay's going to move.
Light. First serve.
We all know that she's gotten so much more fit in the last 4 or 5 years. Her mobility had improved, but with this foot bothering her,
First serve.
she really has not been able to practice as much as she's wanted to, about 90 minutes. 90 minutes a day in about the last week and a half, rather than the 2.5 hours.
That's just too good.
The 40 love.
Produces a beautiful angle. And that's one thing that Lindsay Davenport talked about in the press conference yesterday, that Kim Clijsters widens the court. Puts that extra spin on it, gets the short angles, makes it so tough to cover the whole court.
She's just been so consistent
40,
all
15.
year long, Kim Clijsters.
I think Lindsay, I talked about in the opening about her serve. I think she's also going to have to take a few chances on her return. Her return is also a weapon.
Batting back into this game.
40-30.
Lindsay's going to want to get that first strike, get ahead in the point early on so that she doesn't have to do as much running.
Deuce.
Deuce.
A little bit of wind down there today. There usually is a bit of wind. There are a lot of flags on the side of the court that the players can keep track of.
Advantage, Clijsters.
There's the flags we were talking about blowing atop the stadium, but as you mentioned, Trace, it does get down on the stadium floor as well. Clijsters holds. Wasn't quite as easy as it appeared it might be. Kim Clijsters, 1-love. And now Lindsay Davenport to serve.
Lindsay Davenport to serve.
So Lindsay Davenport, currently ranked 5 in the world. 4th seed here.
First serve.
Clijsters still only 20 years old. You have an idea her best tennis may yet be ahead of her, although it's hard to imagine, isn't it?
She's been around for a while. Around about 4 or 5 years. Remember, Hingis is, what's she, 22, 23, and she's retired.
That's right. I know, that's a pretty scary thought, isn't it? The idea, just didn't hit the shot.
30-love.
Clijster's such a good athlete, too. You have an idea if she wasn't a tennis player, she'd be equally proficient in soccer or what have you. Saw the money that she's earned. Over $2 million.
Oh. I cannot believe it. Clijsters does the splits at least 3 or 4 times a match, and you could see maybe this happening on clay, but she slides on the hard court, gets right back up, gets on balance for a great passing shot. Her mom was a gymnast in Belgium. Her dad was one of the best soccer players in Belgium, so she very athletic genes. Her dad is here with her, and you can tell she got her build from her dad. Very strong legs.
40-15.
Obviously, the flexibility from her mom. I still every time
not a
she
bad
does
combination,
every
is it?
time she does the splits like that on hard courts, I think her knee's going to blow out.
Game. Davenport.
Good service game, confidence-building service game. Davenport doing exactly what you suggested she would have to, and that is coming out of the blocks quickly.
1 game all.
Lindsay, 27 years old. Been a pro now for 10 years.
Love.
Davenport this year just under $900,000 and a very good 34-10 record despite playing at less than 100%.
30
There were
love.
times this year when she really just wasn't having any fun though, and that seems to be back for her now.
Well, this week, you know, she really has had those spurts where it's just been a struggle to get up and have so much pain in your foot. I mean, quite honestly, the tournament before Wimbledon, she went over and played on the grass. She had just gotten the shot in her foot, so really, you know, was struggling with it and didn't have a lot of practice under her belt. Lost first round to Farina Elia, and the R word came up, retirement. And she said, if I keep having to deal with this and it's just not that fun, then I'm going to start to think about it.
Just wide.
Game. Clijsters.
So Clijsters holds at love. We're on serve in the first set. 2-1. Kim Clijsters, Lindsay Davenport, our first semifinal. On serve in the first set. Clijsters 2-1. Davenport will serve to equal. Davenport playing very confidently in this
15
match.
Nice deep second serve. Serve is so difficult to attack.
Whoa! 15 all.
The fault, she looks at it.
She looked like she pulled up a little after that first serve. You know, she pushes off with that left foot.
Yeah.
Ann, her mom on the left, her doubles partner Lisa Raymond next to Ann, and then John Leach, the one in the green hat, is her new husband, and Adam Peterson, her coach as of mid-March. John Leach in the green is her husband as of the end of April.
And I'm sure that's
40, 15.
part is what prompted that retirement talk you were speaking of earlier. She's often said she wants to have a family.
Yeah, that's not it, though. It's
No, I know
really-
it's not,
yeah,
but that's what fueled it, I think.
really just dealing with the injuries. You know, getting healthy and then having to deal with a new one, and then getting healthy and having to deal with a new one. She's just really been struggling. It breaks you down mentally.
Game. And Davenport.
So both players serving well here. They're on serve in the first set. 2 games all. Mentioned earlier, these two have faced each other 11 times previous. Davenport leads the series, but as you see, Kim Clijsters has won the recent matches. Clijsters makes you hit every shot perfectly.
She's the new version of Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Gets
Just
everything.
chases everything back, but brings it back with so much more power than Arantxa did. Makes you hit that extra winner. You go for too much.
That's just a beautiful shot. Just froze Lindsay Davenport.
30 love.
The angle again that gets Lindsay Davenport way out of court. Plenty of opening there for Kim Clijsters to drive it cross court.
Had the idea, had it all
40
lined up,
love.
just drove it long.
Little slice on that backhand, little change of pace. She's one of the few players that can handle the power at the top, the Williams sisters and Davenport.
Game.
So a love service game for Kim Clijsters. Both players having a relatively easy time on their serves. We remain on serve. We're in the first set. Davenport will serve 2-3. So we're on serve here in the first set. Lindsay Davenport will serve to try to keep it that way. Neither player has had much of a struggle on her serve.
Love 15.
There's another way she does that. In the devil's alley, brings it back inside.
Hits it very early, but I would have thought Davenport would have tried to chase it down a little more.
Love 30.
Again, Davenport has it all set up and just
Love
missed
40.
the shot. Now 3 break points.
Exactly right, Barry. That's the shot she was looking for. Had great depth on 3 or 4 shots to get the short one. Missed it.
No doubt about that one, but still 2 break points.
15-40.
Not an easy overhead. That shot was really high. So great timing by Davenport. She's a very strong overhead, consistent.
First serve.
This is a situation here, down 2 break points. She'd love to come up with a cheap point, an ace or unreturnable.
Closes in. That was a tough shot. She took that right off her shoe tops. Hit it over the high part of the net. Still made it good.
With a swinging volley. Do not
30-40.
try this at home. I guarantee you, you will not make this shot. The ball was coming down. And she hit a top spin rolling volley from 6 inches off the ground.
Tough. She knocked that one off. So she's come through 3 break points with arguably 3 of her best shots of the match.
Deuce.
I'd like to see her come in and hit that out of the air. Get someone into trouble. Lindsay Davenport was such an incredible volley.
Cross court ripped it. Another break point chance for Clijsters.
Advantage, Clijsters.
Clijsters just uncoils a little bit extra. A little more angle, a little more pace to produce the winner.
expected that point.
Clijsters.
Just edged Davenport further and further off the court, and then finally hammered the winner. First break of the match.
Clijsters leads 4 games to 2.
Well, there's some numbers on these two. Lindsay Davenport, of course, with 38 titles, has been the world's #1. Kim Clijsters now with 15 titles, and she very likely will become the world's #1 because of the inactivity of Serena Williams now for 6 to 8 weeks.
15
It could come as recently as, what, 10 days from now?
She could have actually done it this week if she had beaten players ranked high enough. She needed to beat seeds like a Sugiyama or Conchita Martinez and then continue on, but they lost early. With extra bonus points for beating top-ranked
15
players. Actually, Kim Clijsters could have done it at Wimbledon this year if she had gone one round further than Serena. Of course, she lost in that tough 3-setter against Venus in semifinals, a match I thought she was actually going to win. Played a fabulous match. I did that match over for English television, and they were hitting the ball so hard. It was incredible.
15-30.
Great consistency. And grass being her least favorite surface, I mean, she really played a terrific Wimbledon, and that's where I starting to see Clijsters mature.
Definitely. I thought her comments about ascending to #1 without the presence of Serena were
30-all.
really well taken. And it really tells you a lot about her, too. I mean, she wants to win it on the court, not by default.
Kim Clijsters definitely one of the classiest women on the tour.
Yeah.
One of the most popular. Really seems to have a good balance in life.
Great shot.
Signature shot from Lindsay Davenport, that backhand down the line.
Gives you an
Great
opportunity.
Great
30,
shoulder
40.
turn, steps in, leans into it.
Chance for Davenport to break back here. Just hit it long.
Deuce.
Not pleased with herself.
She knew she had an opportunity on that second serve. Wind with her, at her back just a bit. Drove it long.
What a get. What a get by Clijsters.
How many times have we seen that where players think they have a winner? and they-
Advantage, Clijsters.
Kim Clijsters digs this ball out. There's her famous slide on the hard courts, and Davenport overhits the volley, trying for too much.
There it is again,
Okay.
just cross-court
Clijsters,
backhand
new ball,
winner.
please.
Clijsters, after facing the break point, consolidates the serve. She leads 5 games to 2, and
5
Davenport will have
games
to
to
serve to stay in this first set. In this first set. Can't catch a break.
15.
Here are some Tommy Bahama tournament facts. Tommy told me these personally. 20th year of this tournament, $1 million in prize money this year. Venus Williams, of course, the defending champion the last 3 times, will not be able to be here because of an abdominal strain. Debbie Spence, where is she now?
Debbie Spence was from Southern California. One of the top juniors, an American. I don't know where Debbie is now. Call us and tell us
Somebody will
where
tell
you
us.
are, Debbie.
First serve.
It's a good opportunity here for Clijsters just to go for it. She did.
15-30. To me, Lindsay is just not quite on her game today. Made a few more errors than you normally see. I think, I talked to her yesterday, and she told me she's only been able to practice those 90 minutes instead of the 2.5 hours. That's It's a big deal, not only on the tennis court where you feel like you get that groove, but just mentally knowing that you can't practice as much as you want to.
So
15
it brings Clijsters now to 2 set points.
That was a pretty routine backhand for Lindsay. She'd make that 99 out of 100.
First serve.
You're right. I mean, if you read Lindsay's body language, it's almost like
She's not happy out there.
resignation. Yeah.
Big hand from the crowd. They're trying to get
30-40.
involved in this match, trying to get Lindsay involved in this match. This is a match on paper, number 2, number 5. You expect a close one.
Clijsters, of course, comes in here rolling. She won the Bank of the West at Stanford last week. What a great get. I don't know how she got a racket on that. In any case, Davenport gets it back to deuce.
Great get from Clijsters, but a smart shot from Davenport. Quick players. Good to wrong foot them. They're so quick. They've gotten out of that area. Look at this get. Boom. And she's going the other way. Just to get her racket on it.
Amazing.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Great movement.
Splits again, and Davenport just dumps it into the net. Very loose shot.
Advantage, Clijsters.
I can't do that, Gary, when I'm not hitting a tennis ball.
I'd be on the DL for 6 months if I did that. She lined it up and stroked it.
But again, it's that serve that got her out of that situation.
Deuce.
To rely on that serve to get her a lot of quick points today. When Lindsay Davenport is serving well and returning well, moving well, and in the past she's been so tough to beat because there's not a safe place to hit to her. When she starts missing that serve, starts to lose the confidence in the rest of her game as well. Great shot. Off the baseline, tremendous depth.
Advantage, Davenport.
A little bit behind her, used that left hand a lot to get that depth. We've talked about Lindsay's mobility. One thing we don't ever talk about is her hands. She's just got terrific hands. Adjusts that racket head at the last second.
And she missed it. And that's about the third or fourth time I can recall her having everything, having it all lined up, just pulled the trigger wrong.
And there's her coach, Adam Peterson. Two things that can contribute to that was just Kim chasing everything down, trying for too much, and just that little lack of practice. Ace.
Advantage, Davenport. Game.
So Davenport is held. It wasn't easy, but she held. You know, this fall the NFL returns to Fox as Bill Parcells comes to Dallas. Hope is on Fox, returning September 7th. Crowd is not yet into this match. Good racket control.
You know, I think if they saw Lindsay Davenport perk up a little, they might get into it more. But she really, you know, she's done that in the past where she just doesn't look completely happy to be out there. And, you know, her opponents read it as well. Kind of a negative attitude.
And yeah, I mean, she's just a breakdown. I mean, this match could turn easily enough.
I mean, obviously, it hasn't caused her too many problems. I mean, she's been #1 in the world. But that's one thing that I would have changed over her career.
It's just too good. Again, I mean, it's just topspin, forehand, just dives when it gets over the net.
You just got to wonder, too, if Serena was on that other side of the net. I bet Serena would have chased this ball down. Maybe not now, because she's just had knee surgery.
Yeah, that's right. It might be a step slow.
The only time that she wouldn't.
Kim Clijsters is too good. Cross-court winner. Clijsters wins the first set, 6-3. Davenport's going to have to find something that has not yet been there. Second set upcoming. Not very good for me. And they are the presenting sponsors this year. First participation for Tommy Bahama, both a women's sporting event and in the sport of tennis. Island.
Level 15.
I'm going out of Polynesia from here. I should go see Tommy, shouldn't I?
Yeah, go pick up a few shirts.
Yeah.
They look good on you, Bear. This is where we need to see Lindsay Davenport pick up her game. Come out through the airs. Her start with a
15
double
all.
fault. Not what she wants to see, but I like this movement here, the activity, being aggressive. That's what she said yesterday. She has to set the tone and be aggressive.
And 15-30. And 30 all.
Lindsay Davenport has that left foot taped. She said actually her foot yesterday in practice was bothering her, so she taped it, put a little extra padding for her match. Felt better. But again, that's the foot that she pushes off on that serve and maybe contributing to the double faults.
There you saw the taping that she has.
40-30.
Also this foot, she's already had 2 cortisone shots. She didn't think that she was going to have her second one until right before the U.S. Open. She's already had 2, and she said one area can only have 3 or 4 in your lifetime. She's only got maybe 1 or 2 more before she has to have surgery on it.
Game. And
So
Davenport.
Davenport is held. It gives us a chance to take a look at some of the numbers from the first set.
Game, second set.
And the numbers would indicate pretty much what the set score indicated, and that is Kim Clijsters getting everything back and hitting a lot of outright winners. Clijsters
with more winners, 11 winners off the ground strokes, whereas Lindsay Davenport with only 3 winners and too many unforced errors for Davenport, 18-12. And you really can't just look at the unforced errors in a match, because these days the players are going for so much. They're bound to have more unforced errors than they would have a decade ago, but they also have to have a lot of winners on top of it.
Davenport that time a good deep shot. Here are the numbers we just spoke of. This is after the first set. 18 unforced errors for Davenport, but that compared with only 8 winners. Clijsters, on the other hand, 13-12.
And look at Clijsters, had 7 opportunities, only broke once, but just having those opportunities shows me a lot. Most people can't even get to a break point against Davenport's serve when she's serving really well.
30-15.
And when Lindsay won Wimbledon, she didn't lose a set. When she won the U.S. Open in '98, she didn't lose a set. Or the Australian in 2000 didn't lose a set.
And there again, that low volley off the shoe tops and hit it well wide.
15.
When I talk about winning those 3 Grand Slams for Davenport, one of the main reasons was that big serve that was so tough to break. Oh, short in the box, beautiful ace.
This is too good. Very good service game.
1 game all.
Well, Jerome Bettis fought the critics to become the NFL's Rookie of the Year, but after personal tragedy almost made him leave the game, he went on to become one of the game's best. Beyond the Glory shows you the Jerome Bettis you've never known. Tomorrow at 9, only on Fox Sports Net. Davenport to serve. We're on serve in the second set. 1 break in the first set.
Oh, that's too good. When you're playing Clijsters, where is the weakness? Her serve isn't the biggest weapon. It's not like Serena, but it's tough to attack, and she'll get some free points on it. The forehand and the backhand are so consistent, and they're powerful that, you know, she returns her shots, chases everything down, returns it with power.
It's like Lindsay was talking about her serve, that it's not overpowering, as you said, but she spots it so well.
Good placement. Can't wrong footer. It's tough to overpower her. Sometimes her forehand has gone off like it did in the finals of the French this year against Justine Henin. Certainly nothing that you can count on. Foot fault called on Davenport. Last thing did she need?
Oh boy, bad time for it.
Most of the time it's that right foot that comes around and steps on the line.
Three break points for Clijsters.
Look at that, Lindsay Davenport ready to serve right away, and that's where she should be taking a little extra time, at least the full 20 seconds that you have in between points.
And just dumped that in the bottom of the net. That was either a tired shot or a disgusted shot. Clijsters gets the break in the 3rd game of the second set. She'll serve for 4-1 when we come 3-1 when we come back. Welcome back, Barry Tompkins, Tracy Austin. We are here at the La Costa Resort and Spa, Carlsbad, California. Semifinal in the Acura Classic. And Kim Clijsters just having her own way with Lindsay Davenport, even though the scores don't necessarily indicate that, but you just have never had the idea that Lindsay Davenport's in this match.
15 love.
You're right, only 2 breaks of serve so far. Only 1 break against Lindsay in the first set. Winner, so close to that baseline. 1 early on in the second, and you just get the feeling it's now or never for Lindsay Davenport. Got to go down there and give her a pep talk. You're not that far off in this match.
Clijsters just came up with her 3rd ace. Inside out backhand.
Off her back foot.
40 love.
Just great hands.
Well, you said it earlier. She's a great athlete. She has great feet. Just terrific movement. Body rotation is really good. 2 aces. No, she missed. No, she didn't. That was an ace.
Clijsters.
And an easy service game to consolidate that break.
Clijsters leads 3 games to 1.
Barry Tompkins, Tracy Austin. Semifinals of the Acura Classic here in Carlsbad, California. We're at the La Costa Resort and Spa. Again, a near sellout crowd. Capacity here right around 6,000. I'd say we have a good 5,000 here. Watching Lindsay Davenport and Kim Clijsters. And Clijsters right now is putting on a clinic.
The crowd trying to get Lindsay back into this match.
Love 15.
Mood for that.
Lindsay lives up the road in Laguna Beach, about an hour north. Loves to play this event because actually at the beginning of the week she wasn't even staying here, just going back home, stay at home.
direction.
15 all.
Go!
30-15.
Clijsters didn't believe it. I'm not sure I do either.
Actually, I thought that was wide.
So did I.
40-15.
Well wide, 2 or 3 inches.
Oh, yeah. Clijsters just kind of looked at it and smiled and said, well.
She makes up for it.
I'm telling you. That's just a great shot.
40-30.
Hits this ball nice and early. Great racket preparation.
And not a half bad serve.
No, nice and deep. That's what you see in women's tennis now. You see the big serves, you see the returns. The returns aren't meant just to get the ball back in play to start the point. The returns are meant to get your opponent out of position.
Davenport.
So Davenport is held. Clijsters with a break in hand. She won the first set 6-3. Leads this one 3-2, serving for 4-2.
3 games to 2.
3 the first to Clijsters. Break in hand in the second. She leads 3-2 in the serve.
Low.
See, to me, I think her movement has really been impaired today.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Lindsay's never going to be as quick as a Serena or Venus, but that shot she definitely normally would get. At the top of the women's game, you just can't be missing your A movement on a particular day, your A game. You think about the athletes at the top of the women's game now compared to a decade ago. Everybody's so much stronger. 20 years ago, people started traveling with a coach. Now in the last few years, everybody's traveling with a coach as well as a physical trainer. I saw Justine Enna out there this morning working out with Pat Etcheberry, doing some warm-up little sprints, not fast, but little warm-up exercises. Justine Enna, she travels with Evelyn Coppens everywhere with her on the tour.
Well, the Belgian women have been nothing if not successful. And Justine Enna and Kim Clijsters are 2 of those singles players. As Davenport comes to net, now giving yourself a chance here.
Great feel here from Lindsay Davenport. Nice drop volley.
30-40.
12 of 18 points at the net.
And that equals the second set.
Davenport.
First break of the match for Lindsay Davenport. Let's see what that does for confidence now.
I think it's smart for Lindsay to try to get into the net. Of course, it's tough if Kim's painting the lines and pushing you back, but try to shorten the points up. And if obviously Lindsay Davenport has tremendous feel on the volleys, one of the few players, I think there are 4 on the women's side, that have been ranked #1 in the world in doubles and singles. Lindsay, one of them.
Low 15.
Let's see the errors mounting for Lindsay Davenport. Clijsters going the other way. If you got more winners than errors, you're doing pretty well.
And the first service percentage, that's one of her weapons. That needs to be about 65-70% for Davenport.
Clijsters again rips that inside out.
Low 30.
Now Davenport in danger of giving back the break she just won. Three break points. That was just an errant forehand from Davenport.
That's just too much on the brain right there. What's she thinking? Is she thinking my foot's bothering him? I'm not moving well. Kim's playing great today. What can I do? Again, another successful attempt at the net from Davenport.
15-40.
This is not an easy shot to change the direction, put a little spin, moving it inside out. Plenty of court open on the last volley.
Game, Clijsters.
So Clijsters gets the break right back. She now has a break in hand in the second. 4-3. She won the first 6-3, and Clijsters back in front. Welcome back to our first semifinal here in the Acura Classic. Kim Clijsters, the first set 6-3, new balls. Has a break in hand in the second at 4-3.
Love 15.
Still to come here on Fox Sports Net tonight, the second semifinal match, Svetlana Kuznetsova and Justin Ardan. Possible that we could have the two best players in Belgium in our
15.
final. But two of the best players in the world, too.
Incredible, that little tiny country can produce two such great players.
First serve.
Both of them come out of different tennis academies in Belgium.
$30-15.
Fifth ace, Clijsters.
Wait, please.
Davenport stepped in and just hit it long.
40-15.
Again, a loose error.
30 unforced errors for Davenport against 12 winners.
Center of the court, Clijsters just made it pay.
That's a tremendous winner. About 6-7 feet behind the baseline.
5-3.
Clijsters had done a great job to even keep herself alive in that point before. Great inside-out forehand.
So now Davenport has to hold her serve just to stay in this match. Again, just loose off the forehand side.
Just get the feeling that mentally now Lindsay's gone. Just doesn't feel that she can hang in there long enough in a point.
We've almost had that feeling this whole second set. Double fault.
Love 30.
Kim the better mover out there. Lindsay's got to get a big head start in each point. Some big serves. Powerful returns. Lindsay looks like she's hurrying. Right now, she should be doing the opposite, slowing everything down, taking her time.
Again, a double fault. Brings Clijsters to 3 match points. 2 double faults in a row from Lindsay Davenport. Very uncharacteristic. Off the long volley. Still 2 set points.
15-40.
And match points, that's right. Just wide. Still
30,
match
40.
point.
Just get the feeling it's just a matter of time. Lindsay cannot chase down as many balls as she wants to today. Kim has been very aggressive.
We'll get to that one. All we got to do is Davenport will live to play a little longer here.
Deuce. Advantage, Clijsters.
And yet another match point.
Good serve right into the body of Kim Clijsters. Clijsters did a good job just to get that racket head out in front and get it back.
Brings her to
Advantage,
a fifth
Clijsters.
match point.
Game.
Well, it looked like a miss hit by Clijsters. She put it on the baseline. Davenport promptly dumped it to the bottom of the net. And Lindsay Davenport, I'm sure, very disappointed with what she was able to do today. And Clijsters is through to the final. And Clijsters is doing what she's been doing all year long.
Playing extremely well, very well within herself, not trying for too much, but just has all the weapons, can chase so many balls down, makes her opponents hit those extra shots. And not only chases them down, but gives it back with power. Playing extremely well now with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's really been quite a year for Kim Clijsters, and she hopes to make it quite a tournament as well. For Lindsay Davenport, I'm sure there'll be another day. I don't think there's any question, Tracy, but she was less than 100%.
I think so. I think I saw her limping, and she's supposed to play doubles later on today with her partner Lisa Raymond. Kim Clijsters also is supposed to play doubles with Ai Sugiyama.
So for Davenport, very unsatisfactory result, and for Kim Clijsters, as we said, this is just a continuation of what's been going on for her all year long. She's now into the final of yet another event. We'll come back right now. And Kim, first of all, congratulations on this win, but it just seems to be consistent. You just seem to be playing absolutely at the top of your game, not only this week, going back to last week, and I think you can make a statement that you've been playing that way all year long.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I haven't lost, before a semi-final in any of the tournaments, and I'm feeling, although I've been playing a lot of tennis as well as in singles and in doubles, I'm still feeling very fit out there, and I'm still enjoying it. So it's not getting bored or anything. So that's always nice to have. I'm still very hungry, to play on the court.
Kim, you won the championships at the end of last year, beating Serena in the final. Do you think that was a real turnaround, a real confidence booster in your career that made this year so much easier?
Definitely. I think that gave me, that motivated me even more. And although the season was finished then, I sort of felt like I wanted to keep going for a little bit longer because I was playing so well. But, I was really happy to keep it going in 2003. And I'm still, although, I have some matches where I'm not playing as well, but mentally I can pull myself through. And I think it all, experience definitely makes a difference now as well.
Kim, I read your comments in the paper this morning regarding moving up to the #1 spot in the world, and certainly it would be very gratifying for you, and I know it's something you certainly aspire to. But I liked what you said about the fact that you'd rather win it on the court rather than by default with Serena's not being around.
Definitely, I think you don't wish it on anyone, on any sports person to be injured, and especially because Serena. I mean, I think she, having a home Grand Slam coming up soon, and it's always sad. I think to be out of those, and I think the crowd as well is definitely going to be missing her.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time, and I'll tell you what, you will move up to number one, and just, I know, speaking for Tracy and I, and I'm sure most of the fans here, well-deserved.
Thank you.
Congratulations today,
Thank you.
Kim.
Thanks, Tracy.
That's Kim Clijsters, and she will be in the final. Who will she play? Well, the winner of the Kuznetsova. I got that one, didn't I?
You got it, babe.
and Ardon. That match coming up tonight. When we come back, we are going to welcome you back to the